Guys, back at Into Moto in Warrington. Today I'm doing a comparison video. What I'm going to do is have a look at Keeway's V-Cruise 125 and we're going to look at the RKV 125 as well. I've reviewed both of these bikes on my YouTube channel, so feel free to take a look at them individually. However, today what I'm going to do is go over the differences between both bikes. From a distance, they're very similar looking. If they were in the same colour, could you tell them apart? I don't know. But there is a massive difference in price. That one is £1,000 more expensive than this one. So what I want to do is just talk you through those differences. Let's see, is it worth the £1,000 extra? Which bike do you prefer? That's the question. RKV first. Nice forward controls, nice comfortable seat, lovely sat up position. I've reviewed this bike, as I've already said, and I loved it. It's a great bike, so it's a good start on the seating position. Now for the V-Cruise. Foot placement feels exactly the same. Back position feels the same. They're both comfortable. Let's do some sexy close-ups. So here we've got the V-Cruise on the sexy close-up. It's a bit mean looking, a bit menacing, and the black on black just looks brilliant for me. Yeah, I really like it. Now let's have a look at the RKV. Instantly you'll notice it looks like they've got exactly the same wheels, the same exhaust. It does have a lot more colour going on. They look very, very similar. I like the RKV seat. Having just jumped on both of them, the RKV seat I find to be a little bit more comfortable. I like the fact that it does kind of sweep up towards the back, so you do feel like you've got the bottom of your back supported a little bit more on this one than you do on the V-Cruise. So we're at the front of the V-Cruise. Well, it's a nice clear lens. I like the headlight setup, it looks good. The RKV at the front, pretty much the same. The RKV, it says Keeway. Now apparently, I've not seen it because we're filming in the daytime, but when this is lit up, the Keeway image will be projected with the lights, so that'd be interesting to see at night. Looks wise, which one do you prefer? Again, for me, I think they're both really nice looking cruisers. It's a difficult one. I'm not, at the minute, just looks wise, I find it difficult to see where the extra money is coming from. But we'll keep looking, we'll go past that. Let's have a look at the brakes on each one. So we'll do the V-Cruise first. Both bikes have exactly the same size brake disc. However, the brake caliper is significantly bigger. So you've got a better front brake on the V-Cruise. So that's where some of the money's gone. Just for comparison, that's the one on the RKV. The seat height is pretty much the same on both of them. The V-Cruise is slightly bigger in all aspects really. It's about 5 centimeters longer and about 7 centimeters wider, so you do feel like you're on a more substantial bike on the V-Cruise. It does feel a little bit wider when you are sat on it. Similar, yes, but as you ladies know, centimeters matter, don't they? And this has got a few extra. The V-Cruise comes with USB charging capabilities. Doesn't have. This is just over 20 kilograms lighter than that. Now I find both of the bikes actually, they both seem quite light. They're both really nice and manageable, but 20 kilos is a lot, but I think I've got an explanation for that. The V-Cruise, so this tank will carry 15 litres of fuel. So 15 litres is decent for a 125. The RKV wins the 19 litre tank, which is class leading. You're going to get a hell of a lot of miles out of this tank, which is amazing. Less trips to the garage. Engine wise, they're both V-twin 125s. Something that you don't see with 125s though is the V-Cruise comes with a belt drive. You can see our belt there on the back. Now that is brilliant for me. Chain maintenance is always a pain. Yes, you've got to look after the belt as well, but absolutely love that idea, because there's nothing worse than having to get down and dirty scrubbing and oiling your chain every few hundred miles. And the RKV uses the chain. This is a personal preference thing for me, but I really love the look of the bar end mirrors on the V-Cruise. I just think they set the bike off, and they come as standard on this bike. Whereas, let's say practical, but they've got the standard big Mickey Mouse ears. Again, I don't think there's anything wrong with them. They're very practical. They just don't look as good as the V-Cruise bar end mirrors. Neither of these two bikes come with ABS. However, they do have CBS, and obviously because the V-Cruise has got that bigger front caliber, for me it's got more stopping power, so from a safety point of view the V-Cruise is going to stop you quicker. However, the RKV, I like riding it. It's still a lovely bike to ride, and I didn't have an issue with the brakes. However, when it comes to braking, when it comes to emergency braking, it does matter how quickly you can stop. So if you stop quicker on that one, safer. Front suspension on the V-Cruise just looks more substantial, and I don't think there's a massive difference between them other than colour, but I think it's just because you've got these little guards here, just beefs it up a bit. But I think that is what this bike's about. It's like they've took the RKV, which is a great bike in its own right, and they've just made it a little bit better everywhere. A little bit bigger, a little bit stronger, just a little bit more. You don't get those guards at the bottom. The suspension at the back of the V-Cruise, again, it just looks a little bit more substantial. And the RKV suspension, you can see there, it's got a much shorter spring. However, I personally don't have an issue with the ride on the RKV. I think it's a lovely bike to ride and it's comfortable. They're both 125 bikes. Power-wise, pretty much identical. So it's down as 10.2 kilowatts or 13.7 horsepower, so a little bit under the limit that a 125 can do, but I haven't found an issue with either bike. Power wise and performance wise, there's nothing to tell them apart really. And again, look at my previous reviews on each bike and you'll see I like both of them. Buttons wise, these bikes are identical. And your screen, I'm not going to switch them on, but you can tell, I'll show you the RKV, they both use the same digital screen. Again, I keep referring to my previous reviews. I've done reviews of these bikes where I've done a ride review as well, so feel free to have a look at those. And there you've got the RKV, so they use the same. These bars seem a little bit higher than what the V-Cruise has. They are noticeably wider on the V-Cruise. They don't seem to come up quite as high. Let's talk money for each one of these. It is quite significant. I mean, they're both cheap bikes, I think, for brand new motorcycles. Let's start with the RKV first. So this is the cheaper one. It starts at £3,499. Looking at the finance options that are available, if you were to buy a bike like this today, £299 down, you would be looking at just over £70 a month if you were to finance a bike like this. We're just putting £299 down. Let's move over to the V-Cruise. Costs £4,499 to buy a V-Cruise on finance. You're talking £299 down, and it's about £90 thereabouts per month. So it works out at £20 a month more expensive than the RKV. So again, it's a little bit more. So whilst the specs are a little bit more, and the ride is slightly better, and the things on the bike is just a little bit better. The price is a little bit more as well, so you pay a little bit more but you get a little bit more. And that is going to be the end of this video. So I hope you've enjoyed it. If you're interested in one of these bikes, get down to Into Moto. You can sit on either of them and you can have a look how they feel. I can assure you they do look so much better in person, because they are really, really good bikes, and the quality of them is unbelievable. Something that I thought I'd never say about Keeway. They've raised the bar. They have raised the bar to a new height, and fair play. I hope they keep doing it, because the bikes they're bringing out are absolutely amazing. So get down here, and if you can't get down but you've seen the bikes already at the show and you just want one, then I'll put a link in the description to Into Moto, so you can actually buy one online, or you can contact the guys and arrange it, but they will deliver it to your door. Quality service. Anyway, I'm going in there for a brew because I think it's about to rain. So I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you wouldn't mind giving me the thumbs up, drop me a comment if you want to ask any questions about these bikes. If I can't answer them, I will speak to the dealer direct and I'll get back to you. Or if you just want to tell me you've bought one, let me know how you're getting on, because I am always interested to hear from people who are interested in buying a bike that I've reviewed, or they've actually bought one, and let me know, have you had any issues? If you've not had issues, let me know how brilliant of a time you're having. Right, I'm going for that brew. I shall catch you on the next one. See you later. Peace.